Hi, everyone. Welcome to a new Mercy Watson book. So, last week we read Mercy Watson to the Rescue, and then we read A Piglet Named Mercy. So, before we read this book, okay, I want to talk about the front cover. So, look at the front cover right here. We have Mercy. What animal is Mercy? She is a pig. And we have Mr. Watson, and they are riding in a car. So this is called Mercy Watson Goes for a Ride. Now, if you look right here, this book has won an award, which means it's a good book. It actually has won the Theodore Geisel Award, who Theodore Geisel is Dr. Seuss. It has won a very big award for being a good book. So we're going to read and see what happens. Before we open the book, I have a question for you. What is Mercy Watson's favorite snack? Yes, it is toast. If you think she's going to have some toast in this book, give me a thumbs up. I do. I think she's going to have some toast. We'll have to see. All right, here we go. Chapter 1. Oh, look, first page. What do we see? We already see a plate of toast. Mr. Watson and Mrs. Watson have a pig named Mercy. Every Saturday, Mrs. Watson makes a special lunch. Time for our little Saturday something, Mrs. Watson says. You've outdone yourself, Mrs. Watson, Mr. Watson says. Oink, says Mercy. Look at all this food she made. I don't know what this is. Maybe like a lasagna. We got a bunny cake. We got sandwiches, some jello. We got some cheese and crackers. And of course, a turkey and toast. Every Saturday after lunch, Mr. Watson goes outside. Mercy follows him. They stand in the driveway. Together, they admire Mr. Watson's convertible. Are you ready? Asks Mr. Watson. Oink, says Mercy. Mr. Watson opens the passenger door and Mercy hops into the car. She sits behind the wheel and she snuffles contentedly. So does Mercy think she's going to drive? We'll see. Chapter 2. Ha ha ha, said Mr. Watson every Saturday. You, my dear, are a porcine wonder, but even porcine wonders cannot drive cars. Mr. Watson gently pushes Mercy toward the passenger seat, but Mercy does not move. She does not want to sit in the passenger seat. Mercy Watson wants to drive. Ha ha ha, said Mr. Watson again. He pushes less gently. Scoot over, my dear. Mercy does not move. Help me! Mr. Watson calls out. And every Saturday, Mrs. Watson steps outside. Darling, Mrs. Watson says, if you let Mr. Watson drive, I will make you an extra helping of hot buttered toast. I will have it waiting for you when you get back home. Mercy narrows her eyes. She loves hot buttered toast. She also loves extra helpings. Slowly, very slowly, she moves over to the passenger side. What a dear, says Mrs. Watson. She claps her hands. You are such a good sport, darling. Yes, said Mr. Watson, she most certainly is. He gets in the car and sits behind the wheel. He turns the key in the ignition. The Watson convertible rumbles to life. Okay, so why did Mercy say she would scoot over? What reason? Why did she say she would finally scoot over? Yeah, for more toast. That's right. All right, chapter 3. Bon voyage! Mrs. Watson calls bon voyage, my dears. When you get home, we will all have hot buttered toast. Goodbye, Mrs. Watson, Mr. Watson shouts. Bon voyage means goodbye. He backs the car out of the driveway very quickly. He does not look behind him. Mr. Watson is a forward-looking man. He does not believe in looking back. Oink, says Mercy. Already she is having a good time. And we're off, says Mr. Watson. We're off on an adventure. All right, so chapter 4, we have Eugenia Lincoln and we have who? Baby Lincoln. Now, look at Eugenia pointing at the car. What do we think Eugenia is feeling right now about the pig riding in the car? How do you think she's feeling? Oh, yeah, she's probably mad because does Eugenia like pigs? No. Do you think she thinks pigs should be driving in cars? Probably not. We will have to see how she's feeling when we come back next time for sure. We'll read it and see what happens in the rest of the story. Okay, so we did chapters 1, 2, and 3 today. All right, good job, everyone.